And a special welcome to AFCON tonight. And tonight is a very special one because we're just about 24 hours away from kickoff in the semi-finals of the African Cup of Nations tournament. It's been an exciting contest so far through the group stage to the round of 16 to the quarterfinals. And now it's left with four teams whom at this very moment in Ivory Coast, I can imagine the players, wherever they are now, are beginning to dream and think about the action come tomorrow. And we're all waiting for it because, first of all, it's going to be Nigeria versus South Africa. Then later in the evening, we're going to see Ivory Coast and the Democratic Republic of Congo locking horns. These four teams have all won the African Cup of Nations before. Nigeria, they've got three trophies, I beg your pardon. South Africa got one. Democratic Republic of Congo have got two, and Ivory Coast also have two. Now, so one-time winner South Africa versus three-time winners Nigeria, two-time winners Ivory Coast versus two-time winners Democratic Republic of Congo. So for all the four teams at this stage of the competition, they've experienced it before. They know what it means. They know what is at stake. And that is why we expect it to be a very exciting encounter. And guess what? For Nigeria and South Africa is a repeat of the semi-final action in the year 2000 when the African Cup of Nations did take place. Nigeria got the better of South Africa in that game and went on to win the tournament against Cameroon in the finals. Then, in 2015, we saw a repeat of the semi-final we are about to witness on Wednesday. Ivory Coast versus Democratic Republic of Congo. Ivory Coast went on to win that semi-final clash and eventually won the trophy from the hands of Ghana. And you can imagine why I'm saying that with this level of smiles, because Ghana was very close to clinching their fifth AFCON title that they have waited for in a very long time. But it didn't happen. So history is about to manifest tomorrow. Lot of revenge at stake. South Africa looking to revenge the 2000 semi-final action, and Democratic Republic of Congo also looking to revenge the 2015 semi-final action that saw them miss the chance to be in the final. So tomorrow is an exciting stuff. And guess what? To help us really appreciate what is happening in Ivory Coast at the moment, we've got two fine journalists on the continent, sports analysts on the continent, who, as I speak, are in Abidjan. One is a Nigerian, the other is a Ghanaian who has lived in Abidjan for over 6 years, understands the Ivorian national team, knows the in and out of it, and in fact is rooting for Ivory Coast to go on and win the title. First, you'll hear from John Bafo, and then you'll also hear from Omar Akatugwa, who is a Nigerian and rooting for the Super Eagles to clinch their fourth title. Exciting, insightful analysis is coming up here on Joy Prime on AFCON tonight. But the show is brought to you by MTN. MTN, it's everywhere you go, and they'll be supporting us till the AFCON comes to an end. My name is Razak Musbao. Kwame Bana is just behind the scenes, pulling the strings, producing the show. Priscilla is in there, and the entire team are making this happen. From now to 11 p.m., we've got real exciting stuff for you. We'll be back after this quick break. Well, welcome back. This is AFCON Tonight. We are live on Joy Prime, and my name is Razak Musbao. If you just joined us, we are building up to the semi-final action in the African Cup of Nations tournament happening in Ivory Coast. It's Nigeria versus South Africa, Amapiano versus Afrobeat. And for Ivory Coast and DR Congo, not sure what they are fighting over. Both countries, have some French tongue in there. Not sure if they are fighting over acheke. Acheke. Please, is the food acheke or acheke? What's the food? Please, help me with it. Acheke. I don't think the DRCs eat acheke, so there's no battle in there. If they had, if it was Ghana to eat acheke, we can pick up a fight with Ivory Coast on that one, but all the same. John Waffle has already joined us. John, if you can hear me, let me just get a wave or something. Let me just connect with you briefly. Good to have you. Good to have you. Good to have you. And I'm sure right now people are looking forward to just getting themselves ready for action tomorrow, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah.
Razak, yes, it's a calm evening here in Abidjan. It seems like people are trying to rest to ensure that tomorrow they are full of vim and full of energy to be able to support their team to a victory, hopefully tomorrow against DR Congo.
Interesting. And all the teams, you can confirm, have arrived in their respective cities for the tournament. I understand Ivory Coast arrived, was it yesterday, from Boaké to Abidjan. All is well. All the teams are available.
Yeah. The team has made it back from Boaké to Abidjan. It's actually about a 6-hour drive from Boaké to Abidjan, but they took a flight because they need to be able to rest as well. And they were able to rest today at the press conference. Max Alain Gradel mentioned that the team took some time to enjoy their win, and then they got back straight to work. So they're ready. They're ready for this DR Congo side that's going to be tough opposition, but hopefully they'll be able to pull off that win.
We hope the celebration is still not up in their head, and they're getting ready to for the action come tomorrow. Well, John, we are going to come back to you for some more on the Ivorian national team and what is at stake for them. But I did mention to you that Ivory Coast and Democratic Republic of Congo have met before. They met in 2015. 2015. And John was just here briefly, but John, I was just mentioning that we've seen this semi-final action between Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, and Ivory Coast before. It was in 2015. They could not stop Ivory Coast, and Ivory Coast ended up breaking our hearts, the hearts of Ghanaians. And we have never forgotten that. And not sure if we have finally forgiven them for that. But it's a repeat of what happened in 2015. Now, we're just going to take a little recap of what happened in 2015, and then we'll take a closer look at what the numbers look like, what the facts and the figures are saying about this very clash. And then we'll come and hear from you your objective analysis of what to expect tomorrow. So let's go back to 2015 when Ivory Coast broke the hearts of Democratic Republic of Congo's fans in the AFCON. it was real excitement. And that's when Ivory Coast began to believe the more that they just might be able to clinch their second AFCON title after so many years. And indeed, they went on to win that African Cup of Nations tournament, defeating Ghana on penalties. And almost every Ghanaian remembers that because that was the last time the Black Stars made it all the way to the final of the AFCON over there. But, well, not just this. While this went in favor of Ivory Coast, there are some interesting facts about Democratic Republic of Congo. Guess what? They have won the African Cup of Nations tournament twice, John. And this is really interesting. Watch this. So Côte d'Ivoire have faced DRC 5 times previously at the tournament. This is how it's looking like. They've won twice, they've drawn twice, lost one, and with their first encounter since a 2-2 draw in the 2017 group stage. Now, in the knockout phase, the only previous meeting between Côte d'Ivoire and DRC Congo was at the, of course, 2015 that we mentioned. Now, this is Côte d'Ivoire's 10th appearance. This is really instructive. 10th appearance in the African Cup of Nations semi-finals, becoming the 5th nation to play in as many as 10 semi-finals, along with Nigeria, who have played 15 semi-finals. Goodness. Egypt, 13 semi-finals. And Ghana, who are right now struggling, have played 12 semi-finals, and Cameroon have played 10 of them. It's their first since 2015 when they beat this year's opponent, DR Congo, 3-1 under Hervé Renard, which we just showed you. And the Elephants won 3-1 and went on to win the trophy that year. So the last time Ivory Coast were in the semi-finals, they faced DRC and they went on to win the tournament. But guess what? Then there was something I came across. For the 2 times that the DRC have won the tournament, in 1968 and in 1974, they defeated the host nation in the semi-finals and went on to win the tournament. And in 2023, they are facing the host nation in the semi-final, and the Congolese, the DRCs, are beginning to bang on a certain magic. If the universe has some magic in there, then it should cause history to repeat itself. 68, they defeated Ethiopia in the semi-finals. Ethiopia were hosting it, they went on to win it. 74, it was Egypt who were hosting it. They defeated them in the semi-finals and won to win it. And the 3rd AFCON trophy, can they lift it in Ivory Coast? Is a big question there. But John, there is really some good history between these two sides, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. DR Congo is what we call a certified host killer. They're up for doing it for a 3rd time after 1974, and then, like you mentioned, also in 1968, where they eliminated Ethiopia and Egypt, respectively. They're trying to make it 3 times for 3 against the host nation. The Congo coach previously said that now that they're in the semifinals, it would be stupid for them to not believe that they can go all the way to the finals. So they're coming into this match with full energy and full expectancy to beat this host team, to be able to outperform them and to make it to the finals as well. They have the likes of Chancellor Mbemba, who's been in quite good form, and also the likes of Gael Kakuta, who's actually coming back from an injury. And one fun fact also about this DR Congo team is it's the team that's had the most man of the match appearance wins so far for their players. So that I believe they have had 4 so far, and Gael Kakuta won one of those, and he'll be back for this clash, which is going to be an important clash at Ibimpe in front of 60,000 people.
Interesting, John. Really interesting there. It speaks of the hard work that the DRCs have been putting in this tournament. Ending up their players ending up as man of the match. Best players in each game that they have faced in the tournament so far. They've put in some really good work. But what was also, quite profound was that until the quarterfinals, they had not won a game in regulation time. They've drawn all their games until the quarterfinals when they, out of nowhere, they managed to get that all-important win. 3-1 in the quarterfinals. So for the Ivorians, they're looking at the side that is able to hold, at least squeeze a draw. Squeeze a draw. And I'm sure the Ivorians are quite familiar with playing opposition that take them into extra time.
Yes, certainly. And Coach MFSV actually made the point to say that their goal really is to start better than they have in the last two matches and to impose their tempo from the onset. If they're able to do that, they feel confident that they'll be able to beat this DRC Congo team that hasn't been scoring a lot, but also hasn't been conceding a lot of goals. So the idea is to start fast and try to surprise them and do well and kill them off as well. But funny enough, of all the semi-finalists, none of the semi-finalists out of the four teams actually even topped their group. So it makes you think that, you know, it highlights how this AFCON has never really gone down the script that you would expect to.
Yeah.
So maybe tomorrow it's going to be another unforeseen script, and maybe Ivory Coast win it, or maybe the DRC Congo continue the script of killing off the host nations in semifinals. But tomorrow is definitely going to be a thrilling game, and we'll see what's going to happen in the end.
Yeah, and just interesting though, I'm just saying that, I mean, with the exception of Egypt in 2006, really interesting to learn that since then, all the host nations that have made it to the semifinals are yet to score a goal in the semifinals. And it's dating back all the way to 2008. Ghana lost 1-0 to Cameroon in the semifinal. Equatorial Guinea 2015 made it to the semifinals, lost to Ghana 3-0. Cameroon in 2021 drew 0-0 and lost to Egypt on penalties. And now it's the turn of Ivory Coast to try and break this history. Ivory Coast has a lot of history to break. If not, you might just see the DRC's, leverage on this and causing an upset in, in Abidjan.
Yes, certainly. I mean, being a host country has its plus and its minuses. There's a lot of pressure that goes with being the host country and also being one of the favorites. If you look at the bookies currently, they have Ivory Coast as the favorite against this strong DRC Congo team. It's not for nothing that no host team has won since 2006, since Egypt. So it's that pressure that you get, but also the energy that you get from your home fans, close to probably 60,000 tomorrow, and then also the rest of the country that will be energized and will be pushing as much as possible for this Ivory Coast to be able to beat this DR Congo team and to make it to the finals. Both the president, Alassane Ouattara, and his wife also wished the Elephant well, hoping that they're able to perform well, win the semifinal, and then eventually winning the final and being able to bring that third star for the nation to be able to enjoy.
I mean, of course, for the DRC side, we know players that have distinguished themselves for them. You can talk about, what's his name, Masuaku, who's really distinguished himself on the DRC side. You can talk about Chance Mbemba himself, also really distinguished himself. But come tomorrow, which players will you be looking forward to, coming to the party, rising to the occasion for Ivory Coast, if the host nation want to stand any chance of making it to the semi-final, to the finals? Which players would you, at least give me 3 players that you think must rise to the occasion if Ivory Coast must stand any chance of making it to the final?
The 3 players that I think would stand out are Sébastien Haller. So when he came in the second half of the Somali game, you could see that he was able to have fantastic hold-up play and bring other players into the game. And he also had 2 really good chances, one which ended up a header, which ended up hitting the crossbar as well. So him starting or him coming in the middle of the game at some point will also be a determining factor in their success tomorrow. So that's the first one. The second would also be Fofana. So Fofana has been a fan favorite been playing really, really well also in the middle of the park. He's a fantastic player that Lens currently miss after he moved at the end of last season to play in, I believe, Qatar now. And then the last player that I would say would be a key player is also Yaya Fofana. In the last game, we were able to see that he made a crucial save on that penalty kick from the Mali player Traoré, but he was also able to make a couple very good saves. And there's nothing more reassuring as a defender to know that you have a goalkeeper behind who is able to perform, who also can take pressure off the players when maybe they're struggling to retain possession. So those are the three players that I think will have key roles. And then if I can add a bonus player, I would say Simon Adingra. When you saw him come in, within 5 minutes, he was able to score a goal. He showed that grit. He showed that passion to be able to continue to keep running, to take every chance and was able to score his goal. And he was rewarded for his efforts. And that's the kind of passion that also transmits to the rest of the team. Unfortunately, Diakite took off his
he
jersey.
took off his jersey and
yeah. And he saw himself receive a second yellow card and a red card, and he won't be able to play today. And there's a couple other suspended key players like Kosunu who didn't play so well in last game. But I think those three players plus my additional player Simon Andigra will be able to, if they play well, help this Ivorian team make it to the finals and hopefully, beat whoever they ended up meeting in that final.
Well, interesting. Really interesting. Ivory Coast versus Democratic Republic of Congo. So you have Abidjan at this moment getting ready for the action, and Kinshasa likewise getting ready for the action. Two really powerful cities whose people I can imagine. It's nice when you come. Sometimes it's exciting when your country is, in the semi-final. If your country is still in the competition, the tension and all the nervousness is pretty good. But sometimes, just maybe, although it is a bit disappointing, but you feel a bit more free, knowing that the two sides are going to play. You have no relationship with them at all. So you just go and watch the game as a neutral. So all this tension and Charlie, what is happening tomorrow, Charlie? Hey, if it was Ghana who was going to play in the trotro on the streets, people will be asking you, oh, you are the ones who follow sports. It's Ghana. Hey, will we win? We're winning here. You understand? But right now you are free of all of that, and everybody's eating their banku without any pressure.
Yeah, I mean, they're eating the banku without any pressure, but they also feel the heartbreak of their team not being able to make it out of the group stage. And then the current climate of Ghanaian football. And we really hope and pray that we find a solution to be able to maximize the talent of this current crop of Ghanaian players. Because the Ghana Black Stars are definitely a giant on the African football scene, and we would rather them be in the semi-final like in 2015, and even them going to the final in 2015 and giving their all and eventually losing on penalties than the fate that they suffered in this current 2023 AFCON.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine if the Black Stars were in the semi-finals, I can tell you the entirety of Accra would have found themselves in Abidjan. Tomorrow we would have all buses upon buses, and every car that is available would have been on our way to Abidjan right now to shake the city. Especially if it had happened that we're going to meet Ivory Coast in the final. I'm telling you, the host nation will not have it easy at all. We'll give them a really good time over there. Anyway, so that John Waffle is still on, and there's another really big game coming up. I mentioned there's an Afrobeat and Amapiano, contest somewhere in there. Tyler, Grammys, and Tyler and Davido and Ashake. If you don't understand all of these dynamics, they are playing a part in tomorrow's game, all right? But ahead of the game, well, the head coach for the Nigerian side, Jose Pesero, and defender, left back to be precise, Ola Aina, have been addressing the press, speaking about the expectations of the game And for the head coach, Jose Pesaro, he says all this talk about the fact that Nigeria are favorites to win the title. He said he does not want it to get into the minds of his players at all. He just wants them to stay focused, go do the job tomorrow, and when they make it to the final, they can start dreaming for the title.
And the same national team, and now again, the Malian down in the area.
I don't want my team and me don't put the focus is our team is favorite. Is have advantage or not. Our focus, everybody go tomorrow in the pitch and do your best. You know about organization. Each one know the task, individual and collective tasks. Is the key point. Never one team go for a pitch, you think, I am favorite, I am advantage about the opponent. No, it's for you. You can create news about that. For us, is what you must do in set piece, what you must do in the offensive organization, what you must do in defensive organization, what you must do on the offensive transition, what you must do in the defensive transition, what you must do in the cohesion of the team, in the spirit of the team, what you must do in the pitch for win the next match. Only that. If my players think like the media was bad for us, very bad, but I don't believe. They know, go to play against good team, put Morocco's one favorite out 2-0, 1-0, 2-0. You know the responsibility, you know the organization of the opponent, you know the power of the opponent. We know they want to play, they want to win like us. They are confident, they have good organization. They want to win the AFCON like us. But more important is our team. You want to play like normal, you do. You want to enjoy the game also. At the same time, demand and joy, commitment and joy, sacrifice and joy, organization and joy. For play a good match, for create opportunity, and avoid the opponent, create opportunity. Only that. Favorite, advantage, no. Don't enter in our head. If enter in our head, you fly. You understand? That's the first answer. More strong than win three times and fly. No, you don't fly. You go play in our feet in the ground tomorrow. Sure.
I think, like the coach said, I think we do believe, that we can go all the way. But like we said throughout the tournament, we take game by game, and this is the focus now. This is the focus is on playing against South Africa in the semi-final. So that's what we're focusing on, and hopefully we can get the job done.
I don't want my team and me don't put the focus is our team is favorite. Is have advantage or not. Our focus, everybody go tomorrow.
Yeah, so that's Jose Pesaro and Ola Aina speaking ahead of the game, and he's just trying to diffuse the idea that they are favorites and what that could, the impact it could have on the psyche of the players. He's just trying to diffuse it so the players could go in there knowing that, look, we are not yet in the finals. We've got a semi-final to play. It's a big game, and just appreciate the fact that South Africa also coming to this game wanting to win. John, is a pretty good way to try and manage the players' psyche ahead of the game. Not going into the game thinking, yeah, everybody's saying we are favorites, and it might just get into their mind, wouldn't it?
Yeah, certainly. And if you think about it, South Africa the only team with an AFCON winning coach. So they know that since Hugo Bruce did it with Cameroon in 2017, they have that experience, the experience from a coach who knows how it feels to get to an AFCON final and to win an AFCON final. So they know that the opposition are not a team that needs to be taken lightly. They know that the opposition is a team that they need to take very seriously. And at the end of the day, they also need to keep their ground and to be able to work hard and to continue to show that defensive prowess and also the passion that you've been able to see on the field, to be able to perform to the highest level to beat the South African team. Just because it's South Africa, and South Africa tends to, because they've only won one AFCON previously, they're not a team that should be taken lightly, like we're saying, like I was saying earlier. Funnily enough, also the South African team are really the only AFCON semi-final list to have all their players that are local players, with the majority of their players coming from Mamelodi Sundowns that have won 6 PSL trophies in a row. So it's a team that knows each other. It's a team that is quite together. So it's a team that needs to not be taken lightly, and that needs to not be taken lightly. And the Nigerians know that. They know what they need to do over this 90 minutes to be able to make it to the finals.
And John, this point that you were making about the South African side having a tank of its first 11 be made up of players from the Mamelodi Sundowns team. Jose Peseiro did touch on it. He spoke about why that is important and how that could even impact the game tomorrow. He said there is so much unity. I'm sure my producer will try and fetch that far for us. I mean, he speaks about the fact that for the very fact that they play together every now and then, it's evidence to why they are where they are at this point in the competition. They know themselves, they understand how to play together, and it does appear that what Hugo Broos just need to do is to tell them, probably go and play the way you always do at your club side. And so far in this tournament, that's exactly what they've been doing.
Yeah, certainly. And one thing about international football is they don't have that much time to spend together. So it will be certainly helpful to have all these players that are used to playing with each other, that know the kinds of runs that they're going to be able to do, know the defensive patterns that they've been working on at the club level, and to bring that wealth of experience of playing together at Mamelodi Sundowns, to this national team. But Nigeria also are a team, like you mentioned earlier, that also have a wealth of experience at the semi-finals. This will be the 16th time for them being at the semi-finals, but they've only won, like you mentioned before,
3 times.
So
it's quite an interesting stuff. But now let's hear from the South African head coach, who's also been speaking with, a goalkeeper who really distinguished himself in the quarterfinals. They're going to Ronwen Williams. They've been addressing the press ahead of the game tomorrow.
I've always had confidence in the players, even when in South Africa there were a lot of question marks about it. I think it's very important that you can go on working for a long time with the same players, so you can install something in the team. And when the players have the confidence and the results are following, you are growing like a team. And I think we did that in AFCON also. We had the first game against Mali. We didn't play bad, not at all, but we lost the game. So the second game was Namibia, and that was a good thing for us. It gave us a boost for all the players to believe that, it can happen. After that, you won against Morocco, and so every time you got more and more confident. So now we believe that we can reach a final. So and again, I believe since a long time in those players, because they have qualities. We needed such that kind of tournaments where we have to play a higher level, where we have to do things that normally South African players don't do in the national competition. And we succeeded. So that means that, that is the reason, I think, why we are now in semi-final. I hope that I can say that I can be proud of myself when with two different teams. You are now in semi-final and you won already an AFCON. This is something special for me, certainly. At the other side, once you are in that phase of the tournament, you hope to win it also. And when I should succeed that should be a fantastic thing for my CV. But again, it's not only the coach, it's also the team. You need a team. You can't do it with a bad team. So let's see what the semi-final gives us tomorrow, and let's hope that we can go to the final on Sunday.
Yeah, we're just proud as a team to be, in the semi-finals in the last four. We've worked so hard over the last few years. We've come a long way, as a country, as a team, as a squad. So I'm just proud to be, at this stage. Not so many people, believed in us, but we believed in ourselves and in what we've done the last few years. And we've shown, that it's possible. So we're looking forward to the game. We're excited. We've done our analysis. We're looking forward to the game. It's going to be a big one. Obviously, there's a big rivalry between the two countries, and they are obviously the team that knocked us out the last time we were at AFCON, in 2019. So there's a lot at stake. There's a lot to play for, and we're ready and we're looking forward to the game.
I've always had confidence in the players, even when in South Africa there were a lot of question marks.
Yeah, so that's Ronwen Williams and the head coach, Hugo Bruce, there speaking ahead of the game tomorrow. And of course, you just heard Ronwen made a point about Nigeria kicking them out in the 2019 edition, and that was in the quarterfinals. Nigeria defeated them. So, since the year 2000, then 2019, Nigeria have been their nemesis of some sort over there. And John, I'm not sure if some rituals are happening in Abidjan ahead of the game, because I understand they've decided to give you a moment of, no lights in Abidjan at the moment. Not that working some rituals ahead of the game tomorrow. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
I think it goes back to my point earlier, is everyone is trying to conserve energy. So even the CU, which is the local ECG, is trying to do the same. But all jokes aside, the 2019 AFCON quarterfinals between Nigeria and South Africa was an intense match. And the last minute winner by Trust Ekong was really the difference between both sides. I would probably even say that Nigeria has an added interest or an added motivation, because since they've only won the AFCON 3 times, they're trying to join us Ghanaians with a fourth trophy. So it's definitely going to be an exciting game. It's going to be an exciting game that will probably not going to see many goals, and it'll probably be a 1-0 for one of the two teams that's going to see them go through that or penalties.
But in terms of the head-to-head, though, so this is going to be the fourth encounter between the two sides in the African Cup of Nations, and the Super Eagles winning the previous 3 by an aggregate score of 8-1. So Nigeria clearly have had the upper hand as far as this fixture is concerned. And the last bet in the semi-finals of this competition in 2000 were the Super Eagles running out 2-0 winners thanks to brace from Tijani Babangida. Big game in the year 2000 over there. We've got a recap of it. We're going to show you very shortly. And I'm sure the elder generation of Nigerians will be watching that and smiling, because it was a good year for Nigeria when they defeated South Africa over there and went on to win it against Cameroon in the final. And Nigeria, like we mentioned, will be playing their 16th semi-final game in the African Cup of Nations. And for South Africa, it's only their 4th semi-final. And of course, their first since 2000 when they were eliminated by Nigeria over there. And Nigeria have had the highest goals expected, 8.59 tally. And it really has worked for them. Themba Zwane has been one really good player for South Africa in this competition. Just look at his numbers there. He's been directly involved in 50% of South Africa goals. That he scored 3 out of the 6 goals that South Africa has scored in this competition. Really worked well. Scored 2 and assisted 1 of it. So Themba Zwane is one that you should look out for And while he could become the first Bafana player to score 3 goals in a single edition of AFCON since Sean Bartlett in 2000, who scored 5 goals over there. So really interesting numbers there in that game between Nigeria and South Africa. But if you're really wondering, if you're a young generation, you're wondering what happened in 2000, how Nigeria managed to triumph over South Africa in the year 2000, that brace by Babangida Tijani, how it got Nigeria to advance to the final and win their second at the time, second AFCON title. This is how it happened in the semi-final against South Africa in the year 2000.
Given away by Ongameni, and Babangida can break forward and listen to the roar. Babangida still going. Oh, what a start! What an extraordinary run from Babangida. 40 seconds gone in the semi-final. And Lagos goes noisily berserk. Flying challenge there from Ngameni. Occasional one from Nombete. And now Nigeria might be in again. It's Babangida again. It's a wonderful finish. A wonderful finish. And the star of this semi-final is Tijani Babangida. A scintillating goal after just 40 seconds. And now the second for Nigeria. As smooth as you like with the right foot. And South Africa are in real trouble here.
Well, they threatened to do it in the first 10 or 15 minutes. I thought South Africa had weathered this.
Good touch from Finidi. That's what we mean about Nigeria playing in patches. They've just started to play again. Found their rhythm. Adepoju. Superb from Kanu, but Arenze's come. Good goalkeeping. Babangida is so fast. Dagahoa to his right, doesn't use him. Finidi again. Shooting chance, Finidi.
Return of the prodigal son.
Yeah, and a row with the coach. Look at this from Babangida. Such pace and control. And here's Dagahoa! An whole stadium wanting to put it in. Kanu misses. The brilliance of Babangida. Well, Babangida's being told to hurry off.
Man, that was a really rich Nigerian side. Kanu was in there, Babangida was in there, Agua was in there. Boy, John, that's some really good flashback there. And the question on my mind is, who's going to be Nigeria's Babangida come tomorrow?
That's a very good question. I think that after the rumors of Victor Osimhen potentially not being able to play in this semi-final, I think everyone would have been relieved to see him train today and expect him to start tomorrow, because he's kind of been the catalyst for this team. Although he's only scored 1 goal, everything that has been good has started or has involved him in the play that they have. So they'll be happy for him to be able to start tomorrow. Hopefully he'll be able to make a difference and score tomorrow. But my money is on South Africa.
On South Africa.
And it's something that's a bit biased. It's all good.
Interesting. Your money on South Africa there, really interesting. But I mean, I was just interacting with some of the Nigerians, and they are really optimistic that they're going to defeat South Africa. They look at the game South Africa had against Cape Verde, and they feel that South Africa didn't quite come to the party, and they've described their victory, despite the heroics of Ronwen Williams, they've described their victory as a lucky one. But going into the semi-finals, I mean, for Nigeria themselves, really good goalkeeper Nwabila, who has kept 4 clean sheets so far, and against Ronwen Williams, who has kept 5 clean sheets so far in the tournament. And this is how their numbers are looking like. Just like I mentioned, just look at it. They played 5 games each for their respective sides in terms of the short phase. And just look at that. Really good numbers for both goalkeepers. And arguably, this is going to be an encounter that some are describing as between the 2 best goalkeepers in this tournament thus far. And I think it is fair to describe this game as that. So I mean, you're talking about Victor Osimhen, the event is able to start, having to face Ronwen Williams. We saw what he did in that game against Cape Verde. He's the reason why Cape Verde have gone home, to be fair. He's the reason why. And even for Stanley and Wabali, he's really distinguished himself. And no wonder that all the players have been, speaking really well of him. And the head coach himself says, look, he's really, really excited to have been able to find him. Just quick thoughts on the goalkeepers going into battle tomorrow, two of the finest in this competition thus far.
Yeah, definitely two of the finest in the competition thus far. And I think there's a narrative that needs to be changed about when goalkeepers stop a penalty, that it was actually the striker or whoever took the penalty kick that made a mistake and it didn't take it poorly. You could see that the South African goalkeeper had been training to stop these penalty kicks. And from my understanding, he's the only goalkeeper in the competition that's ever been able to score 4 of them. So it's not like the strikers missed 4 or didn't hit 4 on target. He was able to save 4, and that's really something that's going to be remembered. And probably, if you have your own self a goalkeeping coaching clinic, you probably want to show the kinds of performances that he came about. And on the other side, also, the Nigerian goalkeeper has helped them in keeping those clean sheets. They say that to win championships, you need to have a great striker and also a great goalkeeper. And Nigeria definitely have both on both sides. And I would also add that Calvin Bassey has been my favorite player to watch. He's just been very strong in the defense, and he's just been a rock in the back, and that he's also helped with the goalkeeper, helped this Super Eagles team keep clean sheets, and then pray and hope that the people who are in front, the plethora of talents from Victor Moses to Victor Osimhen, etc., are able to take the chances that they have as well. So tomorrow they'll be hoping for more of the same, to not be able to concede goals, and then also go forward and score goals with the attacking talent that they have.
Well, John, this has really been good. This has been really nice. Love the analysis, love the insight. And of course, I know you want South Africa to win against Nigeria, and you also want Ivory Coast to win against DRC. Not sure you've had a change of heart on those, have you?
No, certainly not. I'm still sticking with Ivory Coast. And I mean, if for the fans or for the neutrals, it would probably be a better final to have Ivory Coast versus Nigeria. But for us Guineans, we need to support our brothers in Ivory Coast and kind of be against our noisy neighbors, to use the phrase of someone else. Noisy neighbors that eat jollof that's not as nice as our jollof.
I like that. That's exactly how to end the show. It's on that note that we're going to end AFCON tonight. Thank you, John. Please do take care. And Daniel is coming to town, so please just show him around, give him the best check and get him sorted, over there. So guys, that's what we have for you on AFCON today. And big thanks to John Boafo, who joined us. It was on Joe News and also made it here. So very much appreciative. We're going to have a good time, good party tomorrow after the game. And we'll get to hear from you also after the games. And we'll open the Zoom so you can get to join us. My name is Razak Musbat. The show is brought to you by MTN. And MTN, everywhere you go. Up next is 10 Up, 10 Up, 10 Up, 10 Up, 10 Up, 10 Up. So all the 10 Up gang, party is on. Just get ready and let's do some real boogie, all right? We're going to see you tomorrow. Take care.